Hey beautiful people, welcome back to another episode. Okay guys, it feels even more so real now. We've got like our mics.
Yep.
And this just shows how determined we are to get this podcast, this channel of ours.
It's taken us a while setting it up though.
It's taken
not too
so
long. To be
I've
honest.
been actually quite sad. I've been scared. I've been sitting here like because if I make any wrong move, because it's new equipment, we spend a lot of money on it, and I pull a wire or do anything, his eyes are on me.
I'm not doing that. I'm just like going, I'll have to like make sure everything's working and in order. So.
But it has taken longer than it normally does to set up with all of this new stuff.
And forgive us if the sound doesn't come perfectly for our first time, in the sense that new equipment. Fingers crossed that it does come out good, but you never know. There could be some technical difficulties, but we have got backup sound.
My sound's going to be weird anyway. I feel like I've got a... Either I don't think I'm coming down with something, but my throat feels really weird anyway. It sounds weird to me. I'm not sure if it sounds already weird. Like, no? It sounds weird to me. It feels like I've been smoking like a million cigars and you've just, inhaled a lot of like... So I'm sorry. Just sorry, even if it isn't the mic, 'cause it's just me.
Anyway, guys, now to the podcast. To everyone who's new, thank you for coming, and thank you to everyone who's been sending us direct messages. Obviously, I think we rattled quite a lot not a lot. 90% of people are very supportive. 10% they are people who's rattle their feathers. But majority of people who, even the supportive ones, have been sending us direct messages on TikTok, YouTube, email, Instagram, and various other. Basically, happy that we're doing what we're doing. Happy of the subjects that we're speaking about, which is what people want to know, and also relating it to personal experiences. So we're not just like talking genuinely, heard something in the grapevine and just like sharing our points and opinions. We're relating it because we've also been there, and how we used to be, how we are, where we're going.
There's many people have also written, there's not any channels or anyone speaking about this stuff. There is, obviously, but not the way we are.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of stigma behind it, and obviously, like I said, even the ones who are supportive at the moment, they're sending us private messages because, again, they are looking at it from a point of view of judgment by others if they were to, write down what they truly feel in sort of the public domain.
Yeah.
So if they write comments encouraging us, writing what their thoughts or sharing their experiences, then those people that are going to judge and say things, be it family members or just other people who've got that different kind of mindset, and it's still that worry.
It's weird, isn't it? Like, we can't freely write on a platform that we'd want you to speak about this. It's like always inbox messages that we get. And
then obviously we are also getting it from the people on the other side of the scope going, you lot shouldn't be talking about this kind of stuff. You lot are, telling people things that, number one, is personal to you guys and you lot shouldn't be doing that. And secondly, you lot... Basically, we're triggering people about who they are, how they are. And the thing is, with our podcasts and with our TikTok lives and videos, we always say, look, it's about accepting people. We're saying that we've came from a particular culture, background, society, upbringing. It's not to put people down, or the people that did that, where we've come from and how people are still similar. It's not. All we're saying is that we were brought up in an environment, society, with a particular blueprint, just like everyone else is. Doesn't matter which family you're born in, which religion, which culture you're born in. There's a blueprint, basically, for all of us, that these are the steps and this is the journey you're going to be traveling. This is what you believe in. These are your values. And it's all that. It's when you sort of go away from that to change the way that you think, the way that you talk, what matters and what's your beliefs and values, all of a sudden you're not accepted. You're told that you're going against all this and this is not how you should be. And then people put that hate. So it's all right to accept us for who we are and what we know and what we've been brought up around. But now you want to differ or change anything, then we're not going to be happy about it. You lot are doing something that's wrong. You lot think you lot are this. You lot, trying to fill people's heads in. People are happy this way. And you're going, if people are truly happy this way, then people wouldn't be cutting people off. People wouldn't be changing the way that they live, their thoughts and opinions. There seems like there's so many people out there who are trapped and they haven't got a voice, who want to speak out. But being in the culture, environment, religion, society community we've been brought in, certainly especially with mental health, we've been told to shh, don't talk.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it? It's exactly what it is. And it made me think of like certain dialogues that family members or like just the older generation used to say back then. What was it? Lucky Gelge.
Yeah.
What would people say?
Yeah. What will people think and what will people say?
Yeah, bar, how was it? Under the gal bar ni dasni kisnu, like kind of thing. That's how it was, wasn't it?
And to the English speaking viewers, they don't basically share whatever goes on at
within
home.
the house.
Basically keep everything to yourself.
Yeah.
Everything's private and personal. Which,
honestly, like when you see a few messages that you're saying that rattle people's feathers and stuff, fluff their feathers, however you want to say it, it just makes you think like, well, then how, like there are a lot of people who are suppressed and they because of their surroundings and how they've been brought up, how are they supposed to think anything different? They know nothing else but just that. And if you can't, share experiences and things that you've gone through that would help other people, then how, it's relating to
you're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to.
Because you're not allowed to speak. Basically, if you see when we were growing up and people similar to us, that's why mental health in, I would say, the Indian community and families and things like that, it's basically how they see it is with everything. If you're going to talk about trauma or past trauma and mental health, then you basically are trying to say that this person is bad, this person is wrong, this person did wrong to me. It's not always they did something wrong, because sometimes even as parents or community, they want the best for you, and they trying to create the best for you, so you're safe, you're protected, you're raised in a right environment from their perspective or what they know. But what they don't understand is sometimes it's like now, because everyone else is doing similar things, yelling at your wife, telling her what to do, she doesn't need to work. I'm just giving an example. You're going to work and you're coming back and this is what all her jobs and roles are and stuff like that. This is how I'm going to teach my daughter to be, because it worked for me, therefore it will work for the next person, the person that she married. And not only that, it's what the in-laws want. It's just an example I'm saying. So when you're doing that, your mindset is already creating that this is good for my daughter, so she's not going to get into trouble, or she ain't going to get yelled at. She becomes that good housewife, she becomes that good mother, and they will turn around and say, oh my gosh, she's been brought up right. Okay.
It just takes that one person, does it, to go into the household to change that.
Every single person. But they don't understand that daughter might, there might be 3 to 4 daughters there, and 3 of them are going, this is I'm fine with that, I'm happy with that, and they go into a household where they're okay being that person. But that one who's been raised the same way might turn around and say, I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. But you telling me is making me feel and believe that I can't be anything different, and you're going to exclude me, or I'm doing something wrong. But I'm not happy in this situation. I don't just want to be a mum and a wife, and I just don't want to please the in-laws. I want to be more than that. And then when they try to be more than that, then everyone's going, what the heck happened to you? Why are you being so different for? What is your problem? You are not doing what everyone... If it's okay for everyone else and it fits, then why are you... What's the word? Rebelling. Why are you thinking that you someone else, or you think you're better, or you trying to be different?
It's not even that. They always think someone's filled your head in. Like someone...
It's either a friend. She was hanging around with that person... Or this guy that you met, or this just like it's the same with the guys as well.
Yeah, it is normally that. Like, and if it's not that, it's like, gosh, there's something wrong. Gosh,
something happened to her.
Let's take him to the next pandit or something.
Spiritual healers to there's obviously, but they don't want to hear.
No, they don't want to listen to you.
No. Because they know best. And the thing is, like I said, again, it's this tricky thing because we're getting people who come in and they're going, you are putting people... No, we're not trying to put people down. All we're saying is there's sometimes parents, society, community have come up with choices and decisions which they believed from where they were coming from was for the best of everyone, to keep everyone safe and keep everyone protected. But as times change and people change, you know, some people, like now we got people, audience from India who listen to our podcasts and watch our videos, and their mentality, you know, in where they're from, they don't see stress or mental health in the same way. They see it as, if dad beats and whacks the crap out of me, I probably deserved it, or I probably didn't do my education or my studying.
Yeah.
And it's normal.
It's their way of showing love.
It's their way of showing love. My dad coming home, not talking to me, and just or saying to my mum, "Where's the food?
Yeah.
How come he ain't made?" It's normal. Whereas here, someone else would perceive it as, you know, that they controlling me, you know, bullying me. I was getting abused. I was getting emotionally abused. Yeah, I'm not saying that. Yeah, it's how a person feels from it and the society that they're around.
Exactly.
But the thing is, when people are talking or they want to speak about things, either to their friends or feel that whatever they've gone through, that they found it traumatic, even if the siblings or other people have gone through similar things, but they found it okay and normal, that they're not allowed to talk about it to anyone. And, you know, because again, there's a stigma of, for you to say that something bad happened to me, or I was emotionally feeling that whatever was occurring wasn't right by me, then that means someone else has to be wrong. Someone else has to be bad, because you wouldn't have that mental health, or you wouldn't have that trauma that you feel that you're experiencing unless someone did something to you.
It almost feels like they're taking on that blame. It feels like it will be blamed upon me. It's not nothing.
And not only that, it's going to be embarrassing, because basically what you're doing is you're putting your dad down, or you're putting your mum down, you're putting your siblings down, you're putting your partner down, you're putting the society and community, which everyone else is doing the same thing.
It's crazy because, and we're okay to watch a white person on a podcast or whatever, and they openly are happy to speak about their past related to what they've been through, whether it's with their parents, and we're okay to watch that.
Abuse, trauma.
And if we did, and I've watched many, and if I didn't, I wouldn't have learned about what I've been through, or I wouldn't have learned how to handle my, you know, emotions or whatever I've gone through.
Yeah.
Like, but as Asians yourself, why are we not allowed to speak about it? It's something we've been through in order to help other people, because we know the world is suffering.
We've been told not to speak, not to talk.
It's
certainly still now, a woman shouldn't be heard.
Yeah.
And not only that, even kids. What do kids know? What do kids know these days?
Yeah.
They think that they know better, but what do they know? They're just trying to be westernized. They're just trying to think that they know. They can't be better than us.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they got a degree. It doesn't matter if they become a doctor. But you know what? We still know. You know, you are all trying to change, but this is what's...
Isn't it a shame that our parents, like Indian upbringing, that's how they would say, like, you know, they don't know nothing.
But it's still now, like I said, majority of the people still direct messaging, and it's not kids. It's like going, you know, guys, you lot are talking about things that have happened in your past. Why does it have any relevance now? Clearly, you lot aren't happy with yourselves and your life, that you have to go back into your past and talk about those things. And it seems like you're criticizing people for the way that they are. And we talk about our past, so why is it triggering you? You know, and not only that,
people are learning,
you know, when people are talking and they're saying that, you know, either they've been through physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, whatever it might be, you know, some sort of trauma, you talk to a therapist, or you talk to other people, so you could say, look, I have been through this, for me to have a voice to tell you that you're going to either be okay or this is how to deal with it. You can't just go, well, I read a book and I haven't been through it, but I'm going to tell you like all, you know.
Yeah.
You will...
You relate it to what you've been through, like, regardless of what it is. Like, you know, it could be experience, your experience of growing up with people, whatever, but it shouldn't affect.
And not only that, it's part of your journey.
It is.
Because you turn around and you're going, okay, let me forget about the past. Let me just start from here.
Yeah.
That me looking back at where I was and where I've come from, how I saw things and felt, and who I am today. And That's your journey, which you're sharing. Why would you want to eliminate it, good or bad? You know, so just remember the good stuff, because otherwise you haven't moved on. No, but that's my story.
Yeah.
I could write a book about it. I can talk about it. It's
I can
what
help
I...
millions of people who are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with that?
Yeah, and the thing is, at the end of the day, whatever our parents did or whatever the community said or did, they thought from where they were coming from that they were doing the best by us, but was it? You know, where did their stuff come from? Where did they learn that from? And how long ago was that? That was before this present day. So then why isn't it that other people in their own homes, in around, you know, their own families, environments and stuff like that, can now change that perspective of what they see from what goes on around them, what works now for them? Why are we still sticking to those cultural norms that worked probably so long ago? Are they still working now? Maybe for some they are. And if they are, then good on you. But what people don't choose to accept is they don't work for everyone. Just because they're working for you and your relationship with your parents or your siblings or your friends who see similar, think similar, be similar, and it works and you guys are happy and you're happy to carry it on, you know, with your partner, your kids, good on you. We're not saying that you lot are doing something bad or wrong. If you lot are happy living that life in that way, then good for you. Exactly. But you got to understand there's so many people who might be in your home, around you, your own children, who might think differently, might feel differently, might not see things in the way that you see them, to accept them too. To be able to say to them, be yourself, and if it doesn't fit, it's okay. We will accept you for who you are. And as long as you don't want to change it, I want to stay who I am, that's good for you. But
and also
be who you want to be. Accept.
Respecting each other's boundaries.
Exactly.
As well.
It's about showing mutual respect, that you linear, like, you know, like basically it's horizontal, like, you know, it's not like I'm above you and you're below me all the time. It is basically, can we be equals with, even though we've got a different way of seeing life? Because only then can you, because it seems like the only way that at the moment people can say that is going, you know, like to accept people for being different is, well, that person's white, or that person's black, or that person's Muslim, or that person's got a different caste to me. Therefore, that's why they're not like me. Therefore, it's okay if they all do it or say these things. But you ain't going to say it. Tu nahi kehna. Tu nahi karna. Because we're not like them. That's why, and then they have to sell it that's why things don't work out in the way that they do for them, because that's their thinking. Ours works for us and has done, but does it for everyone? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's weird. It's like, for me, the only thing I can say is like from experience myself, and I wouldn't hold back on talking about what I've been through, no matter what anyone says. No matter what anyone says, because I believe that it'll help. It'll help so many people. And knowing that from the place that I've come from and not having understood anything that I was going through, I just wish there was someone that I could have spoken to years ago. I wish someone could have just told me, you know, this is X, Y, and Z, what you're going through or what you're feeling, or, you know, it's okay. But it's taken me 20 years to understand myself, and I'm still working on that as well. And why wouldn't I want to share that with other people? I wouldn't want anyone waiting as long as I have, or, 20 years of my life to finally know, the things that I've been through or gone through have affected many aspects of my life. And why wouldn't I want to help them? And why wouldn't I? I can only speak from experience and what I've been through. And if that meant talking about from childhood to, why are people hesitant on making you stop?
Because again, it triggers them, and not
They're
only
saying
that,
it triggers you when it isn't. It's something you're working on and something you're hoping, because there's a million and one girls who are going through the same thing and have no idea. Because
majority of those people are still similar to the people that the things that you're going to bring up of what created your trauma. They're going to look at it and they're not going to see it in that way, or they are living it and they're more or less like it offends them.
Yeah.
So they feel that you talking about them, where it's got nothing. You don't even probably know those people.
Yeah.
You don't know them personally. You're talking about your own experiences.
You know what it is?
But then it makes them relate to that, and they don't want to hear.
Either they're doing the same thing, or they've done the same thing to someone, or whatever. That's what it is. That's what is a trigger. Just stop it.
Or not only that, many times there's people who are victims and they don't want to see it, and they want to, like, you know, or they don't want their kids to. We are like this, and we do this with our kids, and we don't want our children or our partners to hear this.
Yeah.
Because if they hear this, they're gonna again look at us that we're doing something that's bad and wrong. We need to shut this up. We can't have these people talk, because it is like, oh, like you said at the start, who you been talking to, why you listening to them for. It's just like, you cannot think for yourself.
And again, I can only advise and speak from experience. And again, I keep saying it, if it is to share. Like, as soon as you said that, I thought of something I was told when I was younger. It was like, like, so you've been to that place and you've been eating their food, you've ate something that they've put something in your food, and it's like, no, it's not. Like, why is that the first thing they think of? Either someone's filled your head in, or you've eaten something, you're hanging around with the wrong.
You was helping girls out.
Do you know what? That's what I was actually doing.
Helping girls out.
So I was.
And it was wrong.
See, again, I can only talk from experience. I was working, and you know what? Things happen for a reason. At that time, you know, I was thinking, I don't want to do this, but I had no choice. That was my life. I had no choice to make any choices in anything I did. So I was told to do a certain course, and I failed that course because it wasn't something I wanted to do. And obviously then it was, what's the next thing? Again, that wasn't my choice. It wasn't my decision to make. I was put on a YTS scheme, which they put you out on placements. Now, you don't choose that placement either. So back then I was given a placement, which was, to me, at first very nerve-wracking from the person I was, because I've never travelled out. I've never been anywhere. I don't go out other than to school, college, whatever it was. That's it. So for me, now I had to learn to get on a bus, which I've never done. Obviously, I went to a high school on a bus. That's one route back. This was going to be a bit of a trek for me. So I'm travelling to a work placement, which, if I look at it now, I'm like, I'm so glad I did it. And I did enjoy it whilst I was there, but there was so much fear before I even attempted to do it, because I knew nothing different. I didn't know how to catch a bus into town. I didn't know how to catch a bus into town, so I had to figure that out. And once I started to get out there, I was like, oh my God, like, I know a little ton of ways to get under, you know, it's just to me to think about it now, being 20 and not knowing even the little town that I was born and lived in, the ins and outs of every road, because I just knew the one way home and one way back. Knowing from where I am now, going to a bigger city, traveling on a bus, going undergrounds, and, you know, figuring it all out myself, I was like, oh wow, this is new. This is not scary, because I thought everything was scary at one point. But working, it was alongside, so it was a mosque in Wolverhampton, and there's a little building inside the mosque which had sixth form girls, only girls' school. So I worked in the office there, and I had the most amazing experience. I come across the most beautiful, lovely people on this planet, human beings. In fact, the manager there who run the office, Mahmood, I would never forget him. He was just, do you know, he understood me straight away. He did. He could see things in me that I had not known myself or I was fearful about, and he tried to help me, and I thought that was just amazing. You know, my weaknesses, he started to put me on courses and stuff, and I just thought it was amazing of him to do that, where I'm going there as a placement. As I started working there, the family started thinking I've changed, because now, you know, I'm enjoying, I just seemed a lot happier, you know, but now they want to drop you off. You can't go on you know, you just seem happy. I want to drop you off, you know, and who are you speaking to? And obviously I'm making friends. So I'm going back to some of the girls' houses, which I would never have told them, but I'm going to the girls' houses, and the parents are inviting me, and I'm eating food, you know, and it always, I didn't know nothing. If I just came home late for like 5-10 minutes, it's like, get easy, you know. And if I've now spoken up or stood up for myself, and I said something like, you know, just said, and it wouldn't have been really bad, because I know what would be coming next if I did it, same thing. It's straight away. Just me standing up for myself, speaking, or just maybe raising my voice slightly, or just having a voice. I think that's it. This is why it relates to so many.
Went to someone's house or something.
I couldn't say that
with a friend.
And it's a straight away assuming ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ, you've gone there and you've ate their food and they've put something in your food and you've changed. And so I can only talk from experience, and there's so many things that I've been through where I know there's going to be so many people who relate, are still going through it, or like even the thoughts of like not understanding, not knowing that this is what I'm feeling, not knowing what that even meant, or what, there's so many women who don't know that they're going through something. And why can't I speak from experience or what I've gone through to enlighten other people? What is it to, why does it affect? Why? But yet we're ready to pick up a book. We're ready to pick up someone's autobiography or a book, or watch other podcasts because it's a white person, it's okay for them to do it. Why can't an Asian person do it? And this is the point. It's just like...
Because what you'll end up doing is, by opening up and talking about stuff, you're going to give other people the confidence to also talk. And if they do talk...
And that's what I want to do.
Then what ends up happening is it's... putting, and it's not the intention of putting people in bad light, it's their own personal experiences. It's not, saying that everyone else is doing something bad or wrong.
Yeah. And that's, I actually want to be able to for people to stand up for themselves, to speak for themselves, because it wasn't allowed for me to do. I wasn't allowed to do that at all. I think about it so much in depth and thinking, it feels like nothing now. It doesn't, because it doesn't bother me now. But when I look back at it and thinking, I went through a lot. I didn't deserve what I went through, but I know there's people going through it. And if I can help someone out there, and guide them and show them, that there is light, there is, then what is wrong with me doing that?
And how do you become a better, if all you know is all you know?
All you know.
And you can't talk about what's going on in your homes besides with the people that you know, because in fear it'll come out, and then what people judge you, what they'll say, what they'll think. And, but you can come and talk to us about your personal stuff, but nobody else. This is why people, in Indian community don't want to talk about mental health, because again, but how do you then improve in yourself and improve in your relationships if you can't talk to other people out there?
Of course.
Or, people who might have a different kind of relationship,
who could help
better, different kind of parenting techniques. And the thing is, like mine and your relationship, that's what. So I am talking about us. We're talking about our stuff. So if it triggers other people, then that's their problem. We have let go of a lot. We have gone, through so many things individually. We both even now are growing. We're on our own individual sort of journey and paths, but we're also trying to grow together, work together, we talk together,
we teach each other things. If I've learned something, I would say, see, and it's like it's whether it's down to you whether you want to understand and take it, or like something you want to implement or anything. But I don't know, it's not forced upon.
We didn't get this from our friends, we didn't get this from our family or the people that we know, because in there it was more or less, even I know from to this date, Sureet family used to always say, you don't tell your husband everything, you keep things to yourself. Your own personal stuff to yourself. Don't tell him everything. He doesn't need to know everything. And everything that's going on in their home, he definitely doesn't need to know. Now, look at that. Now, is that normal? Is that how it should be? And you know what? I want to know what my kids are going through. I want to know what they feel. I want them to be able to talk to me. And, I want them to be able to discuss it with their partners. And also, I want them to have friends that they can trust. And this is the big thing. It's about trusting your relationships, that more or less, that even with your parents and your partners and your kids and your friends, that you can trust them enough to talk about what's working and what's not working, how you're feeling, so that they can encourage you and give you the right information to grow and become better.
Exactly. And if I had that one friend, like I said, it would have been amazing, but I didn't. I have had to do this all alone. And you might say, well, you've got your husband. He didn't understand me. I didn't understand him. We went through battles, our own battles alone. And obviously we fought.
Again, it's the way that you've been brought up. And your mind is going, well, this is what a husband does. And this is what he says. This is how he be. And the same with the wife, isn't it?
We
and then
fought so much.
Working for us.
We fought so much because we're so different, and you didn't understand me. You just said something to me the other night that you were like, when you told me this, so it was going back in our 20s when we first got together. I told Steve something, and it probably just went over his head or whatever. But now, like even then, when I told him a certain thing that happened, I didn't believe it myself either. I was just, I don't know. That's quite a deep thing I'm going to speak about, but I didn't understand it myself. But now at the age I am, and I look back at it and I'm thinking, oh my God, it makes so much more sense. And I wish I had someone at that age to talk to, and they could have told me. It didn't take me 20 years to realize what I'd been through was so wrong. And even explaining to you, there was been no chance you would have understood what it was.
No. At that time, because you got these blinkers on, and your mindset is only thinking about something else.
Yeah.
From a different perspective.
And it's those little things. It makes now so much sense. I didn't want to do a YTS course. I did it for a reason. I was meant to meet certain people. I was meant to, find that little part of me, confidence, and grow a little, and realize there's a world out there, because everything I did was what I was told to do. And this is not me I'm not like, oh, it's a trigger for me no more, I'm putting people down. No, but I was told how to sit, and I've still, up until this day, I find it difficult. I was told how to sit, how to stand, how to eat, what to wear,
where to go, who to talk to.
I wasn't allowed to speak. So there's so many things that took me so long. Even now, sometimes people will look, oh, she doesn't get a sentence. I don't care no more, because I know what I've been through. And if I want to explain something, if it takes me 10 minutes longer than someone else, then it is me. I was made to be a certain way, and it's taken me so long to actually break those patterns that I've had for years, and not understanding it, not knowing, and not having that one person, which, like you said, you wish that our kids do have friends. I want to be that friend to that person. I want to be able to speak to that person, even if it is the one, we say this all the time, even if it's the one that I've got you, I'm here. I can guide you through stuff. If you don't feel confident enough to speak to someone, I'm here. And I feel like that is my purpose. I'm growing myself, still trying to, I'm not 100%, they're perfect, but I know I've come a long way. So it is irritating when you see, because you can see there's at least, 95%, even more than 98% of these people. Yeah. And even that one person who can say what they do, 98% of those people who tune in and say, oh my God, we're so glad you finally someone speaking about this. There's no one
more positive.
And then there's that even that 1%, because why are you so triggered for? Why are you? Because maybe it was a trauma for me, but like, I'm moving forward. I've learned so much. I want to teach other people.
You guys haven't grown and never gonna grow because you keep on. You are talking about things that have happened in your past, and you're like, going, what?
Isn't that how we grow and learn and move forward from and
you
teach other
experiences
people?
But what I was going to say was about, obviously, this isn't about putting people down. So this isn't about us like saying, oh God, these people are wrong, these people are bad. And it's not about breaking relationships. It's not, oh God, disown your parents and your siblings and get divorced and stuff like that. It's nothing to do with that. What it's to do with is, guys, if you aren't happy with how you are and where you fit in, be able to find a way to speak to them. Speak to them, talk to them, hopefully communicate, empathy, understanding, and be able to understand one another to the sense of like hoping that you can resolve and grow in your relationships but also by being yourself, authentic self, and not going, they should allow me to be authentic and be myself. That you should allow yourself, and if they've got an issue with you being authentic and being yourself, then they're the ones with the problem.
And I also think that people need to know what they actually want and who they want to be, and not imitate other people, or they see other things going on that I want this, I want that, just because obviously we do see things that we want that other people have got, but you've got to be you've got to want things from your own heart, not just because you've seen someone. You've got to work for it as well, and also that you were saying about speaking to the other person, it's not always going to be the case that other person is going to be open arms or is going to be accepting to what you have to say. It might have to take you a few tries, but even if it still doesn't, it doesn't mean there are people who won't budge from how they think and feel.
No, there isn't people that will budge from how they think and feel, but what I'm trying to say is, it's not about, oh my God, we're here to go, guys, if these people don't make you happy, just leave them and just go.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
it's nothing to do with that. You have, sometimes you got kids, there's love there, there's love and stuff like that. It's just sometimes there's the misunderstandings. Sometimes you might just go into an environment, you've been brought up in a different way, and you might go there and you're going, I don't like the way my husband is, I don't like the way my wife is, this is how I see things, just like us too. this is how my parents are, but guess what? I don't want to raise my kids in that way.
Yeah.
You're entitled to raise your kids in the way you want to. But if they keep on being involved and going, but this is the right way because we've raised you and this is how we've done it right, we know better. And you and your partner are having conflict and issues and problems because your partner's saying, well, I want to raise my kid this way. It could be the guy, but your parents are there going, no, we've raised you, you've got a degree and you've done well, you've married him and you don't want to do something different. Well, that's what he wants to do. And then you're saying to your partner, we don't want to do that. You're not saying that. They're saying that. What do you want to do? Well, I'm with you. But
really hard.
They
Honestly,
know,
sit down and think about what you want and what you think's best for you. Yeah.
And that's the point I'm making. Having that communication with your partner and saying, look, this is coming. What is it that we want? What is it that I want? And then having that communication with them and saying, look, we get where you're coming from. We know what you knew and how you knew. When majority of our parents, when they came here, many of them didn't have an educational background. They were all working, trying to do the best that they can for us. Yeah. But what we're saying is, people have evolved. People have learnt new things. Yeah. So when why go back to people who didn't know?
When our parents came here and they started their businesses, families, whatever worked, they all seemed to do the same thing. They all, like you said, so-and-so was getting married at this age, make sure all the girls get married at that age. And they followed the tribe.
It worked. Even now, if it worked, why break the blueprint? And
I do say, and I have said it many times before, enough respect to the people that didn't think that way. And there is a small percentage of those. They're out there, but there was a very small percentage where majority of the Asian families want to copy and do the same thing. They know nothing different. But I know when I was growing up, to me, I knew what I wanted. And that was from my own heart. This is me being authentic to me. I always knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to be married. Yeah. I knew I wanted to be married at an early age. And I knew I wanted a big family. Maybe not an early age, but I knew I wanted to be married. And whether it was soon or later, probably for me to maybe just escape and try and find myself, have that little bit of freedom. That was why I wanted to get married a lot younger than normal people nowadays would, with the question, why do you get married young for? Why, maybe it was like an escape for me to get out and be able to do the things I want to do. But I know I was authentic to myself. I knew what I wanted, and that never changed. I wanted my own family. I wanted a big family, and I knew how I wanted to bring my kids up. And the thing is, I did just that, and people look in and they're like, oh God, you've really got it together. You've got your kids are already at uni, or you really did well, and you haven't got family, you haven't got people, you haven't had support. How did you do it? All these questions that come flooding in all the time. I'm like, it's been so difficult, but it's not about that. It might look pretty and rosy on the outside, but it's been damn hard. I mean, for a good, I'd say at least 7 years of my life, nothing really affected me. Obviously, I was a down at times. I'm not going to say it didn't. I got married, I didn't have no one there, those things. But as soon as my children came along, I was so happy and I was so content and I was so there for them. Everything did feel rosy. But then it does come to a final time in life where things that you've been through that you've suppressed and never thought about start bubbling up or start affecting a relationship. And we argued quite a lot, didn't we? Yeah. And the thing is, people look and think, oh, he's so rosy, oh my God, everything, you guys are great, want to be just like you. We went through turmoil, and our kids had to see that, and that was due to my past and your past
way of thinking, what separate beliefs were, values,
not understanding one another. And it was
what we thought our jobs and roles were because of
you
what
still
we
had
saw.
That certain mentality, and I felt like I had moved more forward than you had, but it was trying to get us both on the same.
We're superstitious. Wow, superstitious.
He was very much
all those things that had been brought up as a kid.
Our children,
and then I was like instilling those in our kids as well, kind of thing.
The thing is, I could happily sit with my kids, and they'll, I'd be happy for them to be. I'd be happy for them to be honest enough and say, you know what, you lot put us through hell. If that's what they thought it was, or you lot were proper, traditional or this or that. And we've had to break away from ourselves, which I know the things that I've been through, what we were trying to install in them, because we didn't know nothing better. And again, we were trying to fit.
We didn't know nothing better.
Again, we were trying to fit in. And knowing we don't fit in, we were trying to fit in, and that destroyed us. Trying to fit in was probably the hardest thing.
Because again, it's like if we try to do anything different, people would straight away say, "Does it go to bunny?" Even now, we get that. Oh, you lot think you're white, or they said that when I was in the police force as well. But it is, you know.
Yeah. So with the kids they've been and they've seen so much as well. I'm sure there's going to be, effects things that they've gone through and seen us go through that's affected them, and they're going to have to work on. And, and the thing is that now that I have the knowledge and I know, so much more, that I'm there to help them, and I'm there to, it's such a shame, because that's what they call generation curse, that it has been put onto them, what I've gone through, or what you've gone through, or that we have. The thing is that I, again, going back to the things that I had dealt with, had gone through, I knew for a fact that's something I would never allow my children to go through. Be it, they want to be free, they want to go where they want to go with me not questioning them. Obviously it had to be a certain age before they started to do that, but I never stopped them from wearing or experimenting in things that they want to do, whether it's what they want to wear, makeup, just simple little things like that, which I wasn't allowed to do. I wasn't allowed to wear nail varnish. I was made to chew it off my hands if I was ever seen, my nails, if I was ever seen with nail varnish. And I got into such a habit. I'm not ashamed of saying it. Like, the thing is, people, I'm not ashamed of saying it. I've been through so much where the first time or a couple of times I've tried nail varnish, I've had to chew it off because I've been told there and then, you chew that off. We don't have nail varnish remover in this house. You're chewing it off. And I got to the habit for years on end chewing my nail varnish, which obviously could have done a lot of damage. I used to eat it. I didn't just chew it off. I ate it. I swallowed it. So it's just those things that I would never. What's wrong with a child wearing, they live in the UK, wear English clothes? What's wrong with them going out and meeting friends? What's wrong with them eating the things that they want to eat? Just having a voice, being able to speak. Yeah. I would not tell them how to sit, stand. So these things, obviously, even certain things when it came to girls growing up, and I'll be open enough to say this, just because of my past experience, what happened, I'd want to make sure that I was there for them. So when they hit a certain age and they were coming on their periods in life and stuff, I made them feel like special. Whereas for me, I knew how I would be towards my child because of what I've been through. And not everything went perfect. Everything I thought I wanted, I did, but I didn't do everything perfect. The things that had affected me in life also affected them, because they were now, like I said, were coming up on surface. We were arguing. They've seen all that themselves. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's that. It's like, understand. It's come to the point where it's like, it has to be understood. It has to be, because I'm not destroying what I have made so beautiful. I can't destroy that. And it is me working on myself and me wanting to share that with others. And
I think the thing is, there's things like, obviously, religion, community, and society. But remember, culture and things that people talk about in the community and society, it's all been man-made. Yeah. Someone came up with it. And if you think about it, how long ago was it made? Some time ago. For the reason of keeping people safe, have the same mentality, be there for one another, which worked.
Yeah.
Times have changed, things have changed, people have changed, and the thing is, it's basically been accepting to that change more than anything, and respecting that. It's when people keep on going, you can't be different, you can't change. And even now, it's like you said, you're talking about things that are personal to you because you feel free.
I feel free.
You're not trapped. You feel that, I am my own authentic self. I'm in a better place. I am strong. I am confident. And I am going to speak whatever I want to in my mind, because I am coming from a better place. Before, when I did feel...
Shush, I wouldn't
have spoken because I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. It wasn't even that.
I'm scared. I'm embarrassed.
Going to high school, I literally thought that every Indian girl got beaten up at home. I honestly believe that you must have got beaten up at home, or they must have it as bad as that. We just didn't speak about anything, and it wasn't even embarrassing. I just thought that everyone has got the same life as me. When I met you, and I tried to tell you things. At one point, you probably did think I was just a little bit...
I thought it wasn't... I did question it, because obviously I'd be brought up in a home where my sisters were beaten up or anything like that.
And for me...
And so for me, I was like going, is this even normal? I didn't come across anyone, not even my cousins or
those
relatives.
Little things were a trigger for me, in the sense that... So what I'd been through, now I'm seeing a man that I've fallen in love with, a man who's a brother, and became a father. But the brother part, to me, it stood out so much. To me, I was like... So I would never question my friends at school. this to happen, even though some of them had brothers who were in the school who are either younger or a bit older. You wouldn't think, just think, oh, because I had them. You just think, oh, you never know what happens behind closed doors. Indians, they're all the same. But seeing you and the way you were with your sisters, to me, it was just like, wow, is this even real? Like, and it was real, and it was touching. It was like really, and so if anything, at times, and there was times where someone would have spoken out to an older member, like whether it was yourself or whether it was a mom, it really pissed me off, because I thought I wasn't allowed to speak up to a family member. I wasn't allowed to say anything, and yet, yeah, talking with attitude towards you and being like this, and I didn't find it normal. I was like, don't speak with disrespect. He's there for you all the time. He does what he can. He's, you know, I just don't see any bad bone in his body. While, you know, it was strange to see. See,
and this is what I'm trying to say. When you don't know, you don't ask, you don't speak,
you don't even know what a brother, if I could sit you and tell you what I've been through,
yeah,
with my own siblings, do you not have no respect? Like, you are so freaking lucky. Like, that part, I know, even I felt that so much, and I loved the relationship at times, and obviously there was not that. I was like, oh my God, you're so lucky. Wow.
And that's the thing, isn't it? But you don't know that until you see other people's. And when you told me about your situation, your life, I did like thinking, is she telling me the truth? Is this real? How is that even possible?
And there was,
you know, and my mind was like going, because I knew nothing. I didn't come from a world like that.
I was afraid of speaking about it. You were the first person I ever opened up to, and obviously there was something about you that really made me comfortable in order for me to do that, because I didn't speak to anyone.
But I still didn't have no understanding. I was listening, but it was just like, okay. But again, when you haven't seen people know that mindset isn't always.
Yeah.
And then I think,
should I believe that person?
Well, it isn't that. It's just like, is that real? Because besides on a TV or you watch it in a movie, you don't see it in real life.
The thing is, most of the time, in the 20 years of us being married, most of the times I thought I was making stuff in my own head anyway. Like, I had actually thought, I'm making this up, or, you know, because you're now thinking, how is that even possible for one to go through?
And then I saw it in the police force, being 20 years in the police force, and then you saw the amount of people that were going through something similar, even more or less oh, wow.
You said something to me that really touched me the other night, and we're sitting there, and you said, I've never said this to you before, but I it was years ago, we must have had an argument, and, you know, you'd stormed off and you said something to me which really upset me, because I know for a fact that I did, you wouldn't be here with me today if I didn't do what I did that day. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't even, like, the weirdest thing is I didn't apologize to you. I did think about it when I was, oh God, I'm getting upset.
Oh God. Oh.
No.
Always...
I was thinking about, I was doing my makeup. I was like, why didn't I not say something to him when I was sitting there with you? Like, why didn't I say? Because you could see it took you a long while to actually tell me. You were like looking up, and you were like, no. But you said that our daughter was there with you, and she'd actually said, I disagree with her. I believe, Dad, if you didn't do what you did, Mum wouldn't be here today. And I was like, I don't know, I was doing my makeup. I was like, why didn't I say nothing? Why didn't I give him a hug? Like, for sure, like, the stuff that goes on in your head, and when you don't understand yourself and you're going through so much at that time, I was determined. I was feeling that, like, you know what? You do feel like, it's like, how do I explain this? There's been many times in my life where there's things, I know I was so happy with you that we met and everything. I know how I felt about you, but there's been times in my life where because of how low I am, I'd have been different and thought about life being in a different way. You know, just because how hard it was, because I didn't understand myself, and I didn't understand, why didn't I just give him a hug and reassure him that, you know, you were right. You were right, and I'm so sorry that I had actually put you through that and told you that, you know, no, that wouldn't have been the case with that scenario that you've just mentioned. You were absolutely right. And there's been other occasions in my life, like when I've been so low, that what I initially had thought, and I know my heart felt, I've actually changed my own feelings. Like, I've made myself think something completely different, you know, just to keep myself away, push myself away.
Protect yourself.
Protect myself.
Feel strong.
You know, and it was not until the 2 nights ago, and I was like, I didn't still say to him that, you know what, if I didn't make that phone call to you, I wouldn't be where I am today. Why didn't I say, why was it so hard for me to say, yeah, you know, I'm really, really sorry. So I am sorry. And I could see how emotional you got that night just telling me. And those are the things that have happened in our life where we have argued about certain things where I've probably know what I felt, but I protected myself and made myself feel something different just because I was so scared of maybe even if it was losing you, or, you know, I don't know. There's so many things, and it was because of the things that I'd been through.
Yeah.
You know? So those things our kids have had to see as well.
Yeah.
Have had to deal with and, you know, not understand. And we finally got there. And you did say that night, you was like, you know, maybe this is all meant to be, that we were supposed to help other people. You know, making that one phone call to you changed your whole life. You know, at that point you probably didn't see it. I did see it. I know I felt it, and I know I seen it, and I tell everyone that same story, but I convinced my own self.
But the only way it would have happened is if you had someone that you trusted that you can open up and speak to.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have that, and you
didn't
make that phone
today.
call, and I didn't say the things that I did,
I wouldn't be sat here today.
And there's so many people who just sometimes need that one person.
Yeah. But it's like you were saying that maybe this is our path, maybe it is what you've been through, maybe it is what you helped me at that time, and maybe that's why you got into the police force yourself, is because you saw what I went through and you thought, you know,
help other people.
I want to help other people. And you did see that a lot as well.
Yeah.
My wife's been through this, I want to help other people.
I understood it better. I wouldn't have understood it at all.
Yeah.
And the amount of people was certainly in the Indian community. I mean, it wasn't just the Indian community, but
it
I understood
just really upsets me, because it's taken a lot of my life to figure myself out. You know, these little things of me protecting myself, of avoiding feeling hurt, or, you know, and making you feel certain ways as well. Why can't I help the world? Why do people want to shush you up that you don't? I can only speak from experience, and I'm going to stop speaking from experience, because I know, like I say, and I wish the world wasn't like that. I wish that, you know, people weren't going through this stuff, but I know it still continues, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And there's so many people out there who are experiencing different things which are causing mental health, but they keep on getting told to shut up, don't speak about it, don't go and see anyone, don't speak to your friends about it, don't even see a therapist, it's not true. Basically, if you stay quiet, don't think about it, and just focus on other things, then it just goes away. It doesn't go away. It just keeps on growing, building, until the point that you cannot take it anymore. Just having one person, it doesn't mean, I'm not saying, there's some people who have to go to a therapist and might find it feel safer to speak to somebody who's not family or friends. But if you have got someone, it doesn't matter if it's your brother, your parent, or your partner or a friend, be able, I mean, it's like now, all I want to say is, like, Sureet used to say to me, when I was experiencing whatever I was feeling or thinking, feeling low and down, why don't you speak to your friends? And when we meet up, we'll have a laugh, we'll have a banter. It's like we don't want to be thinking about those things. It's like at that moment, certainly as Indian guys, we'll take the piss, and, you know, we wouldn't even talk about if we're stressed in our relationship or with our kids.
It's so
we're
sad.
More or less just basically getting away from the world we're living in, so we can just go, let's pretend that we're all happy.
It's so sad.
Instead of having that one-to-one and saying, guess what?
And this is the thing, and if anything, it needs to be more there for the guys.
If you look at it, surveys and everything say majority of the rate of suicide is with men.
Yeah.
And the thing is, men don't want to say it because, again, it's that stereotypical thing of a man should have all his shit together. He shouldn't have no problems. He should know how to control his woman and all this stuff. Even to the point that, you know, the amount of guys that I know who are friends, family, and that basically, even though they're separated from their wives, they don't want to openly tell people that they're separated from their wives, that they actually go to events, weddings, birthdays, parties, funerals, and they turn up, like, get their partner to also turn up, and they pretend that they're together.
It's so sad.
And I experienced that from first level in my own family.
It's such a shame, because
you live in a lie, and yet everyone knows the truth.
What are friends there for if you can't speak up and be open to them about it? What possibly would you be so afraid of? Like,
but again, it's that to do with, if you got to go to, like, now, if I wasn't with you, I know for a fact, I'm not being bad, I would just turn around and say, we didn't work out. Whatever the situation was at this point of who we are, of going, we'll still be great parents to our children. But for some reason, I'm not saying you have to go around and... Because the problem is, people keep on going, for two people to not be together or things to go wrong, someone has to be bad and someone has to be good. They are, at times. There will be. But if you look at it in a different way, there's so many Indians who are divorced or separated, and it happens, it's life. But you trying to pretend and go, no, we're all fantastic and all acting like that. Who are you trying to kid? Yourself? Other people? But why?
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about your personal stuff and say she was this or and he was such an ass or whatever. No one needs to know your personal stuff.
Yeah.
But hiding the circumstances, and then your kids are having to think, oh, don't tell anyone, don't let anyone find out. Why? Yeah, it's none of anyone's business, but people already know majority of the time your business.
And this is why they say that Asian men...
And then how do they trust you?
Majority of Asian men do turn to alcohol. And that's they don't turn to a friend or a
No,
person
because
they
it's
know.
easier to drown your sorrows, your thoughts, and basically try to drink that alcohol so you don't have to think about all the things that are destroying you inside.
Yeah.
Because you feel like I've got no one to talk to, and then no one's going to listen.
How do you feel about it? Because do you feel it gives you a relief being able to speak? Because I know you felt the same way as well.
About
speaking and...
no, the thing is, obviously this subject I thought it was more to do with, you've said quite a lot, and otherwise I think with the male mental health and thoughts and feelings, and them not talking to other guys. I'm not saying all of them. Some people might have a really good relationship with their dad and brother and friend that they can, but majority of them that I've seen still live these fake lives, trying to pretend that everything's all hunky and dory, just so they're not judged and they're not feeling embarrassed. Joke about their wife, but it's a joke about their wife, not seriously saying that, things ain't working out. But then they bring in their children up to say that people don't need to know, pretend that everything's great when it's not great. And then it carries on. Instead of being able to go, is there someone I can trust and talk to? And if there isn't someone I can trust and talk to, then can I go and get some help from elsewhere? Get that help, encourage each other to get that help. Majority of the time, your own relationship might not be working because you don't understand yourself.
I was coming to that. There's been a majority of people...
Not your partner, and you don't understand yourself.
But the thing is, it doesn't help, though, if you've got a partner and you don't understand yourself, and you've got a partner who's a stronger character, it just reminds me of certain things, certain people that we've been around, and it's always the female who's going through so much, and again, probably not understanding, just like myself, but then you've got a partner who's so much more stronger. And he made her feel like she was just loopy, like she's gone insane and stuff. Not instead of sitting there, because she doesn't understand it herself, but he doesn't seem like he wants to sit there and work things out, make the situation so much more worse than what it is, and make her feel like she's just crazy and she can't take after the kids and what have you. I find that so sad.
Yeah, but the thing is, that does not always happen. That does happen, and it's many relationships. There's so many different ways. If we were going to go into relationship, there's so many men who are thinking this and women thinking, there is that thing. But like you said, I think it's more to do with, sometimes it's avoidance in yourself from a man's perspective. You want to avoid what you're thinking and feeling because it's not how you've been raised to think how a man should be. So you're playing this role of what you think a man should be from the people that you've known around you. I'm not weak. This is strength. This is me confidence. People don't need to know my shit. I'm basically go to work, come back, I'm providing, I'm doing the things that I'm meant to do. So, why ain't I happy? Why aren't my relationships and everything good? You don't understand that you're not happy in yourself, but you don't want to work on yourself because you want to avoid that. And then that then affects your relationships. Certainly also could with your partner, because each time she says something or whatever, it's triggering you. And you're going, I'm trying to be this person, and why aren't you appreciating this? But they see something else.
They're going through something completely different
than themselves. And so they've also been brought up in a different environment with different thoughts, different feelings, and saying you're not being who you need to be. And then can you imagine you saying to me or me saying to you, which we did do, I think you need help.
Oh, God.
That's a trigger in itself.
It was.
What, you think I'm insane? What you're trying to say? There's something wrong with me.
See, even that it brought back a memory and thought. I remember he used to say that a lot to me, and it really rattled my cage, and I'd get so wound up, and I'd argue, and I'd scream and shout and yell and everything to you. But you know what? Sometimes I was earlier you were saying something I was going to say then, but I stopped. Sometimes it's not just therapy that one needs. Yeah, it depends on what you've been through I've been through therapy. It's not what I needed. I needed a lot more than just therapy. So there is different levels of it. But starting off with therapy, if not understanding, I think it needs to be really put out there a lot more with our community, and especially with the men. I just find it so sad that, you know, they're unable. I can't. The thing is, I'm saying it's sad for the men, right?
I think I want to get in more into it, but I think that's going to be another subject in itself.
Yeah.
Because again, I can relate to a lot, and I can open up about it. And hopefully guys out there, you know, again, there's going to be so many people who are going to be supporting that, and they want to know. And the reason why I want to do it, just like I think I don't want my son to go through what I did. I don't want my son to feel what I did. I want to be able to understand him. I want to be able to be supportive. I want to be able to him to come to me and talk about anything. You know, I mean, he doesn't have to. If he's got a good friend that he can speak to his partner, great, you know. But I also want to be able to be accepting and respecting that, you know, he can trust me with whatever he says.
Yeah.
And that, you know, he doesn't have to resort to either alcohol or thinking he doesn't want to be here, or he doesn't understand himself, or have a relationship with a partner where he feels that he doesn't know what's going on. And it's not me going, oh gosh, she's a problem, or this is what it is, whatever. It's about me listening, and me then, if I can give him the right advice, guidance, that's what I'm there for. If I can't, then I direct him to a person who can. But it's about helping them work through whatever they're going through, so they're happy in who they are, and to accept themselves and to respect themselves.
Of course.
And
it's only
this
from
is what
personal
people
experience that you can do that.
Yeah. Majority of the time, it's like on deaf ears. Don't talk to me about it. It's nothing.
Yeah.
No, it is something to that person.
And it's so sad, because a lot of people are in relationships, you know, and it destroys the relationship. It's not just the relationship. You have children as well. And we're ones for that. We know everything that we'd been through had affected them, you know, and they see things in such different ways. It doesn't matter what we initially wanted and how we wanted to bring them up, and breaking away, it affects the children.
Sometimes people are so much of holding on to these cultural norms, beliefs, values, you know, because of how they've been, to say that that's everything besides the relationships that we have, or for us to think anything different, because again, feeling that we'll be excluded, or we won't fit in, or we lose the people that we, you know, love and admire. You got to know what your values are, and if you don't know what they are, if those are your values, then that's fine. But for us, it's been, you know what, I'd rather let go of the way that I was brought up, the way that I was told to think and to be someone that I am happy, authentically me, even if it's different to anyone else, even if no one accepts me or cares or wants to listen or understands me, that's fine. I'll create my own tribe, my own community, my own group of people, and I'll be happy with that. I've got to be happy in me, that I can be authentically and happy in who I am, so I can turn up each and every day for you and my kids, and vice versa.
And boy, it's taken such a long time. It's been such a journey to get where we are. And
you have to let go of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Unless people accept you and they want to be part of it, that's fine.
If people think it's an overnight thing, or people think, you know, oh, got to really work on myself, it's going to be a year. It's been years on end for us, continuously, and we still are. You're
damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So you know what? It's basically every single time, life is a choice, and it is a very short life. So you can either live it the way that you want to live it, or you can live it to the way that it's other people's expectations, thoughts, opinions, values that other people feel it's important to them. Not knocking what other people do and how they do it and what they believe to be true for them, which is fine. I accept that and I understand that. But it's about being true to yourself too.
It is.
You know, and being happy with who you are. And that's the only way that you grow and you become better and you keep on improving and you get the right people coming, what's happening with us. And we'll open up more. I think that was the main sort of thing about this podcast. It was about people opening up and feeling free in themselves and being confident to speak instead of being kept quiet in fear of judgment, embarrassment, you know, and all that, you know, criticism and stuff like that. Because it doesn't matter, even when you're quiet and you're not talking, not doing those things, you're still being judged and you're still being criticized. You're still being, you know, how do you feel happy in yourself? Do you feel strong in yourself? Because if you do, then great. If not, then you're already not living the life that you truly want. And those people are going to keep on shushing you, telling you to shut up, not speak, don't have a voice, don't say anything. Because guess what? Either they're being triggered or you waking up the people who want to be, awakened.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And that's what we want to do. We want to wake up those people. Guys, you guys need to... You guys deserve to be happy in your life. You deserve to be happy in who you are, your authentic you. And you deserve to grow in that manner, regardless of what anyone else thinks or believes. And if they don't want to accept you in their community, their life, in their family, then they're not the right people for you. You'll find those people. And then, who accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
And that's what life should be.
Except we have this one life and it's a short journey here. And why can't we live it the way we want to and be happy in ourselves?
And if there's nobody else that wants to listen or, want to hear you out or understand you, then just DM direct message
We're
us.
Here.
And, hopefully we'll support you as much as you support me. And if we can find help and guidance, then we'll pass it on to you guys.
That was it. That was today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if there's anything else you guys want us to talk about, or if you found this interesting or you think someone else would find it interesting that then do please share it to them. Well, you know how to find us. We're on all major platforms, and if you think this video would help someone else or you want to share it with someone else who's going through something similar, then please do that, and do give us a like, share, subscribe over here, and we'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Bye.